Hi, Q&R Code. This is Quinn.
And this is Riley. And we are here together yet again in beautiful Colorado, enjoying another June day together. Best thing of my life.
Is the best. We even had one of our brothers call us this morning and be like, I heard you're hanging out today. Yes, we are. Thank you. And he's like, that is one of the best things that's happened to humankind this year. And I said, thank you for understanding the levity of this situation, because that is how big of a deal it is.
That is the magnitude, and Quinn and I just had a big cleanup session in her house, and by big it didn't take nearly that long because many hands make light work, and we were saying how happy it is to just have chore time together, and no, it's not going to be months down the line when we're back together again, so
we can do all the little things. We don't have to feel like, oh, the moments are slipping. Like, yes, grab life by the horns, take advantage, and we can be like, hey, my kitchen needs to be cleaned. Obviously, we're so happy to hang with each other all the time for anything. And it's so great having a friendship like yours, Riley, where very clearly it's not like, oh, is it kind of like, are they kind of like not wanting to hang out because I'm cleaning? And no, I don't have to have that consideration whatsoever.
yeah, that's not how I feel. And I get to podcast with Pinkerton laying across my toes. We just had a good walk with the dogs.
Fed some ice cream salt to the equine.
And when we say ice cream salt, it's not ice cream at all. It's bigger chunks of salt. And it was really one of my joys in life is feeding animals in general out of the palm of your hand, goats, or be it equine, be it dogs.
Be it donkey who tries to get your entire fingers in her mouth.
Yeah, be it fish that you sprinkle a little.
Watching them just with their little lips. Oh, so cute.
Yeah, Quinn and I, we didn't get to watch an episode together actually, but now we have both independently watched at least an episode for you of Our Oceans, which is the ocean documentary narrated by Barack Obama. So great narrative voice for that sort of show.
We won't say the comment I made about his voice.
That's a man that could read you a bedtime story, that's for sure.
Yes.
But animals of all types are just so fascinating, but sea creatures, just in general as a group, they always trip me out because you're like, how do you survive underwater, A? And B, how did we all come from life underwater and then evolve into breathing air and becoming the things that we are? But I just always trip out when you're in Wyoming and all of these places that then you find fossils of sea life or seashells, and you're just like, oh my god. It's all water, and the depths of the oceans, the life we just do not understand. It's amazing.
You know what Riley and I learned on Our Oceans that we didn't know is that, what are they called? Not lanternfish. What is it called?
Anglerfish?
Anglerfish that have the lantern built in, which pro move for being deep ocean and having that, is a separate organism to the fish. They are not. Or did you not see that one with me?
I didn't watch that one. So you're saying the lantern itself, they're in a symbiotic relationship with? Wow.
Pretty neat.
And so the anglerfish benefits him by like being big and scary predator vibes, or
I guess, and just being, they fuse together for nutrients, I think.
Wow.
And yeah.
They're twins.
Who's the light and who's the angler? I'm the light.
That's what you would have people believe.
That was, that we've had a good day so far. What was I gonna share about the start of our day? Riley, hooked it up with the treats, fancy girl matcha and lavender latte.
And I have been loving this tutti frutti pride drink that a local cafe is doing where it has lavender and blueberry, but they do a very good job of making it not such a sweet drink, because often I was trepidatious ordering it at first because I don't necessarily need blueberry syrup vibes in my coffee, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory way, it's just to each their own, but they do always yummy homemade syrups that have not done me wrong, so we tried it, and it is very well balanced where you're not like, "Oh, all of a sudden this is like a Starbucks beverage," which again, you do
Can be
you.
done.
Yeah, and there is the mood for that, but I am usually in a different mood for a latte than I am for a dirty soda moment, if you catch my drift.
You
And
think a dirty soda is when you're down to get sweet
yeah,
and fucked up with
yeah,
it. Okay.
and sometimes coffee's verge into that territory.
Yeah. I was worried about. I've seen now in a couple places that their Pride matcha is fruity pebbles, and that is something I feel like probably would not be my cup of tea.
It's not my cup of cereal, let's start there. I'm not a Fruity Pebbles, Fruit Loops type of gal
No.
already. Not probably my territory, which is just fine because there's always something that is, but in this
Deep prepubescent.
literally, not the voice crack into a choking moment. This time, very delicious. Also, a very yummy chicken salad sandwich, which, if you know Quinn, not necessarily the first choice on the menu is the chicken salad.
Is it chicken salad salad?
No, I'm just being goofy. You mess up once and then you just can't stop. But lots of dill in this, which does bring me to the first point I wanted to talk about, which is acclimating to life back home on the plains. As everyone knows, the geography of a place often has different microclimates and whatnot. Even though Quinn and I are in the same general part of this state, she happens to be much more in a little valley protected. I happen to be much more open on the range, and flashbacks to college life in Laradice because the wind does holler through the open plains and it does go straight through my property, which I don't really have a house that has good little shelter like nooks and crannies or trees built up and things like that to break it through. And we have to find some sort of a creative solution to help protect my plants because my herbs are just as if they were like the Bernie dancing inflatable men in front of the car sales. They would be flat on their backs doing the limbo because it is, and then it changes direction and they are getting whipped around. I'm like, okay, this is your training. You better grow into some hardy vegetables with I have herbs and then also tomatoes, a cucumber, a squash. We'll see. I hope this first batch makes it out, but we're definitely thinking of solutions for building a little more of a sheltered area for the garden where it also gets sunlight because things are a little more of a extreme climate than we are coming from gardening in Virginia. That was
A
just
little.
a cushy vibe for your plants, which we so appreciated. But we'll figure it out. It's also for me. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to get some pool goggles or something to go out for my chores because my eyes have just consistently been getting like, sorry, TMI, gritty, sleepy seeds dealing with throughout the day because of the amount of dirt that's coming in. I might need some fast glasses. All my sunglasses kind of sit off from my eye. I might need more.
Functional
Yeah.
for sure. The function is gonna be worth the trade-off, but fast glasses are in anyway, so don't worry about it. I just saw a reel with a cowgirl putting on her swim goggles for loping horses in the windy sand, and yeah, try it out. That would be actually really cool looking. They
Especially
basically are sunglasses. A lot of them have the
I was
tinted.
gonna say the tinted effect, and as a kid, I used to have prescription goggles. I could do that, so then I wouldn't even have to deal with my contacts or glasses. I just
It's just
just
so
gotta
cool.
come in. I would love that. I show up to, like, a horse riding lesson or a clinic, wearing prescription goggles. Rec specs, dude. I need a pair of rec specs. Do you remember?
Yes,
Yes.
I remember. No. No, I think we're now I have to start protecting you again because you're trying to make community and meet people, and we don't want them immediately. I don't know.
Turn off by the
I don't
respect.
know if the town is open enough for that kind of acceptance. We'll have to keep gauging. But Riley's been being a really brave little neighbor and introducing herself to people. Tell the class about how brave you've been.
It honestly, did not really take bravery because created
Am that bitch. Still that bitch.
I created such good vibes with my neighbors at my last place by immediately introducing myself and making it clear that I wanted to talk and have a relationship with people, and I find people to be very receptive to that instead of just being like a hermit that doesn't introduce yourself to people. And
Which is so much of our age group. I feel like a full call out. I feel like our age group is so being weirdos with just like invert their eyes when
yeah,
they're passing you unless
which
well,
I don't necessarily I'm not like this is the individual's fault to blame for it happening, but I do feel like we can all take ownership that you get to choose what you perpetuate in yourself. So Brayden and I, even with the discussion of going over, Brayden wanted to like text them and call ahead first, which, granted, in our culture, a lot of people really do appreciate. And I'm not even saying that's the wrong call to make, but I did say to Brayden, I think that's a little unfortunate because yes, we can do that, but I think that this adds to the community of feeling like you can't just knock on someone's door. I know that it's true that a lot of people don't appreciate that, but that mentality I personally would like to try to step away from because I want my kids to grow up feeling not like every interaction has to be initiated via the phone, that we can do these. That being said, I feel a little bit differently about just, like, surprise buzz and drop bys, um, unawares for people, which I guess in some ways that's why it's a little bit, nuanced situationally because I'm like, on the one hand, I don't necessarily need anyone showing up at my door at any moment. That being said, I want to build a sort of community where it feels like that would be okay in a situationally appropriate context, like with neighbors, where sometimes I have full on old school been the neighbor of being like, I just need to borrow a quarter cup of your milk and then I will be out of your hair. It's not like I'm coming by for a hangout when you have your whole day planned and
that's such a differentiating factor to me is can we have pleasantries, help a friend, be in community, or are you gonna take 45 minutes because you will not let me step away from this? And that is where if it's hard because maybe sometimes people are feeling like, hey, actually on my side, I'm perceiving that this is feeling really good. I think that probably what is clicking to me quickly is it is usually maybe older people, at least, slightly older, that are maybe a little less having opportunity for community day to day, where it's like, I get that you want to befriend um, us as a couple, and we want that too. Our day is just a little bit maybe more tightly scheduled right now
yeah.
than yours, or it's a cup filler for you to have that much social interaction.
Which I
It
am
can be for
also like,
me.
I am happy to provide that, and I want part of this to be social interaction. It's just gonna be dependent on the moment, and I had my friend and neighbor in Charlottesville that we often I'm like, I genuinely do wanna catch up, and there are still times when we catch each other in the backyard where it's not gonna happen for me in that moment, and you can
But that
communicate
was
that.
such an intuitive neighbor. Think of your neighbor on the
Yes.
other side who it's like, buddy, love the honey badger shirt and suspenders. Very sick look. You've been in this neighborhood for a long time. Respect. Please be appropriate with your language, and I have to get to
Which is
work.
where I did also have to be like, I would love for it to just be all, oh yeah, whatever vibes with you. I did have to get a little stricter in those moments of when I was like, hello and goodbye, conversation over, I'm stepping away, even if you continue to speak.
Yeah.
But with these new neighbors, first of all, they are not having the vibes of, I just have all this time on my hands. They have 2 kids. So I think already it's like, were so apologetic because they said they didn't have a lot of time. We did end up getting in touch ahead of time, and they said, "We have soccer tonight, so at this time, if you could come over, we're sorry, it's gonna be a little brief," and I'm like, "That is just fine. I just want to introduce ourselves anyway." I baked my first loaf of sourdough up in the Rockies, and I was like, it did not rise exactly how I would have hoped, and Quinn encouraged me and said they're going to be nothing but positive. That is how my loves look in this altitude, and they were very, very appreciative. One of my neighbors is also a sourdough girly
Baker.
and baker, and she was very excited about it. I baked them a mini loaf because I didn't know who lived there, and now I know it's adults and kids, so I'm like, next time I'll make them a full-size loaf. I just sometimes when it's only, like, a couple, I like to do a half loaf because you might not go through it quick enough where it's fresh, it just dries out, and
Yeah,
for
but you just use the freezer then. I would be so stoked being like, ooh, and I have some slices of this in the freezer.
yeah.
But that's still great and lovely from you. But if you're gifting me sourdough, just know
It's like, don't
I'll take the whole loaf.
don't do a mini loaf for me. They're
Yeah.
also really cute little
Oh,
gifts,
duh. Give
but
me 2 mini loaves. Perfect.
that is something that's a good thing because sometimes
And
it's
how cute in a little basket having 2 little mini loaves and then heaping beautiful eggs from your chickens. That's not
that's not
applicable to you
yeah,
at the moment.
that they got was it wrapped up in parchment in a, like, reusable brown paper bag with some twine. Um,
Adorable.
and they were extremely friendly. I think they are going to be good neighbors. I hope it feels that vibe. I was just, yeah, glad to start getting to know them. Their daughters are really funny, and they were headed off to a soccer match for, like, the closeout party of their soccer season, parents versus kids, and the kids are, like, I think 6 to 12 years old, so I'm like, genuinely, I wonder how that panned out. You would you would
Yeah, maybe if the parents are decrepit oldies at this point.
this couple was not. So,
I
but, like, did the parents play to win? That's what I wanna know. Or was it the
I
kind of
bet they were like, waddle, 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 dink, kind of hit your soccer ball. Now you go get it, Tommy.
I think there's a big difference between playing against a 7-year-old and a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
So, it really depends. Because if a 12-year-old that's been playing soccer for a few years, I definitely think they can beat me playing
Yeah.
soccer. But if I'm the parent that I'm like, "I played
I
college
played.
soccer,"
Oh, well, fuck.
they are dunking on them.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I would probably miss some key factor, like which side was my side to score a goal and really screw things up.
One of the daughters was said, like, "I hope that they make me goalie because I play goalie in the regular season," and then her little sister goes, you don't even dive to stop them. And she goes, I do dive. I'm like, classic sister being like, she doesn't even dive. And she's like, my little sister doesn't know. Yes, I do. And I'm stopping those balls from coming into the net.
You know, it was sweet. I saw a reel of a blind hockey team that the goalie gets to know the sound and like the
Wow.
feel of there's a puck coming in and is
Wow.
straight up like blocking
What
shots.
accommodations do they use in general? Because hockey is a pretty intense sport that playing
But I
blind.
guess there's a lot of audio
Well, I think that
involved in
makes
the
sense,
sport.
and I could see how you could feel like with your stick what was going on. I just think, yeah, you have to be tough to play hockey, period. You have to be extra tough if you're playing with that accommodation because I'm just curious if they did you notice from them playing that if there were any other like cues that they use?
Not from this short clip that I watched, but think things are the speed is
Yeah,
down
yeah.
quite a bit.
Well, I my newest hockey romance came off of hold from
Ooh,
Libby, and so I just am coming off
this
of
is part of the
heated
heated
rivalry.
rivalry series.
Yes, the series is actually the first book is Game Changer, so I have heard a few book people saying
It's
it's
called.
yeah, Heated Rivalry is what they made the show off of, so it's more known, but it's the
Mm-hmm.
Game Changer series,
Okay.
which I am like, you are poised for sure to be my most read author of this year because now I think I read 6 books
Whoa.
in competition with Brayden reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, and he is dismayed that the next book he just finished, I don't know what number, 8 maybe, um, a year or so until the next one gets released. I'm like, well, you don't get to binge it anymore, now you actually have to wait for the
Dungeon
next
crawler.
yeah, for the next installment. Um, I this one, I will say I was a little bit less invested in the characters, but it's fun because she's making the world with the different people. You get to still like hear from the other characters like Shane and Ilya in the Heated Rivalry book. Yeah, anyway, that's all I have to update about that. I'm reading some other books right now that have been good. I've been listening to that as an audiobook while I'm moving into my house. So that also could be part of it that I'm even though I'm paying attention a little bit, I had to switch from I was reading like listening to a nonfiction book that was very learning dense that I'm like, I genuinely want to get some of this information. So I have to switch modes because when you're thinking and you're finding new places for things to live, moving into your home, you're definitely, at least I am not fully paying attention listening. And that probably made me a little less invested in their story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, listening to audiobooks, as we've discussed, is a skill and you learn how to do it better and better. But there are so many times I will start playing something, whether it's song, podcast, book, and get into it for a couple minutes and be like, what was I thinking? My brain cannot be engaged in this, and now it's over stimulus on my feeble mind, and that's no good.
I just do believe that multitasking is generally less productive overall, and we have been so conditioned to think listening to music or a podcast or an audiobook or having TV playing, that's not really another task, but it is giving your mind another task. And that's why when you're in a serious situation driving, it's often like turn down or off the music. I need to fully zone in and focus.
Mm-hmm.
And being present out in the world as we always return to, but it's really nice on a longer drive or in different situations to have that, which Quinn recently listened to most of The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna.
Yeah, very good. And at first, just of course, like Kristen Hanna, do sad, hard feelings, but very educational about. I think I talked about this last week.
Yeah, a
Didn't
little.
I say like, oh, you know why I was actually talking about same concept, learning about American history, but I was talking about that with the museum.
Yeah.
But this is a case where definitely this has been I don't think I've ever read a novel before about the Great Depression, which seems crazy to say. Maybe I
I
have in
was
the
gonna
past
say,
far,
yeah,
but
deep past.
yeah, not
And like
anytime
the Kit
recently.
Kittredge American Girl book.
Yeah, but
Which,
that's
shout out
interesting.
to American Girl for having snippets of history woven in
Oh
there
yeah,
because
big shout out.
massive.
Madison from Love on the Spectrum could tell us a lot about shout outs for American Girl.
A lot more than I could tell you, that's for sure. Um, although I was just like, Molly, was she World War II?
Bitch,
Don't
ask
remember.
yourself
But I
that. I
do
have
know,
no
of
clue.
course, never forget Felicity, the redhead colonial horsey girl.
I've been doing a very inappropriate thing with my legs to the camera this entire episode, so I hope you guys have enjoyed that.
we're still figuring out our angles for our new setup.
Me now, like, I don't know why I'm being so. These are deep chairs, which I
Yes,
love,
but
but you
I've
turning
noticed
to the
that
side, it's not
it's okay.
casual. I mean, apparently it
You're
actually is extremely casual, is
hyper
what's the thing.
hyper casual. Um, yeah, what else do I want to update you about with my move in? Basically, I'm proud of us. It's going really well. I am I can grasp it, but it still feels weird in terms of I always with Brayden in the hospital, I know what's going on and I feel what it's like from my point of view, but even being as deeply invested, the for sure number 2 invested person in Brayden's life, you don't exactly get to contextualize it because I don't go to the hospital and see Brayden working. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, in just a couple days when you listen to this, he will be an acting doctor in a hospital." And I'm like people, like, introducing ourselves to our neighbors, and they're like, "Oh, what do you do for work?" And it feels a little bit like
A
I
scam to be like, I'm a doctor.
not for
Or no, he feels legit.
I
No
think he
imposter syndrome at
I
this point.
I don't know how he feels on his end about that. I don't think he really if he has imposter syndrome, I'm like, "You shouldn't because you've been
Yeah,
doing."
step up
We
now.
had a conversation this morning where he basically said, "Yeah, you just have to immediately be confident with patients because nobody wants to interact with medical personnel that feels a little bit like they're insecure about what they're doing. You don't wanna be delusional and be on the side of, the coin where you're acting like you know more than you do. Just be confident in knowing what you know and being able to help in the way that you can and being honest when you don't know something. But a huge part of what you're trained to do is to be able to find and help them find the answer. It's not, oh, I always know off the top of my head, but I can read the literature and I can interact and utilize
Yeah.
my resources to help us move forward. And he's gonna do great about that. I am yeah, I am like, this is a big serious thing and trying to help him balance, also feeling like people are people at the end of the day, and nobody should be held on a pedestal of expectation of knowing it all, and there's no way that you could because we're constantly learning, and some of the things we think we know now are going to change, and that can upset a lot of people in sometimes an understandable way of feeling like, "Oh, I saw the doctor, and now 10 years down the line, they don't even think it's that," and that's the point of research and the scientific method is to be in learning, and it's a good thing to make progress in those decisions, even though it can be hard when people are trusting you with so much to feel like I might not be 100% equipped for that.
Yeah, it is what it is. You can't claim to have all the answers exactly right. That's why you have to give the John Hancock sign your life away, because who knows? Doing our best, we
It's
swear.
like that's what the insurance is for, the
Yeah.
lawyers. Yeah, that is another crazy thing where I'm like, I guess Brayden immediately has to get insurance for
Oh yeah, baby. Get suited up. Who knows who's coming after Brayden?
well, Quinn had to have special insurance to be a yoga instructor. I'm like, I think
Yeah.
he's taking people's lives in his hands a little bit more than that. So yeah, I just live in my little world of wishing that people didn't want to be litigious with each other all the time, but in any case, anyway, how are you?
Life has been so good. Equine things mostly, tattooing things second most. So loving that. I have felt ever since getting back from my trip that for the most part I've been on a very good coffee morning beverage like treats because my mommy was in town
That's the
and
best for that sort of thing.
yeah, was really treating us. And then I work in the city by such a delicious coffee shop. Have I been getting a drip coffee with a splash of steamed milk every morning I've been going into work? Yes. And financially, I could be doing a lot worse things because I will say, hey, a cup of drip coffee, like I'm not spending $7, you know. So, and their coffee is really good and they're really nice and I'm supporting a local business and
Good for
my
the economy.
livelihood. Yeah.
Helps everyone, hurts no one. I have been on my drink grind making them at home because
Because you live in a little agriculture, you guys. Riley's new place is so cute. She's down a county road, full blown small town ag land, surrounded by pivots that are getting our crops ready. Thank you, farmers. And it's way different than any living situation we've ever had for you. And
yeah, it's so cute and I'm
it's
so
cute.
excited about it. It definitely does force you though to step in, and Brayden and I are fully prepared to step up into our game of eating at home and whatnot, which we already did a lot of, but obviously Charlottesville also has a lot of really good restaurants and cute cafes and stuff. And I will be getting to know my little hamlet, but the coffee scene
What are
is
you talking about?
what?
My little hamlet?
Hamlet is like an old-timey term for a little town, like, that's what they would have called it in England when you were riding your horse from place to place, like a hamlet.
Okay. Culture. Thank you.
It's like a young pig.
Like, what the hell?
Uh, that's a funny joke, a Hamlet being a little pig. Um, anyway, I made us Conan and I haven't had the chance to enjoy it yet, a baked good, a no bake good, a treat that I didn't have to bake, which was key because I don't want to turn on the oven in my house. It's been pretty warm in there. We do not have AC. So we've been relying on opening our windows at night, cooling it
Of
down, then
course.
closing them, which
Rocky Mountain AC. It's the
more
way we
yes,
do.
that's the way we do, more effective, I will say.
By the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, in certain homes than others. We look at the thermostat and it's 86 degrees inside, and I'm like,
Holy hell.
"Okay." It's a
It's gonna
little
keep getting hotter, so you guys
well,
sauna benefits like no one's
we
business.
do I will say we were left in our home an AC, like, in window unit we can set up.
Oh,
I
which
will
is huge.
yeah.
That's what Sean does in his office, or else he would be absolutely
Yes.
toast
We'll do
upstairs.
that. We were just trying to kind of get settled and be like, "Do we need that?" "Yeah, we will." Anyway, so I wanted to make Conan and I dessert because we deserve it, and we did not have a birthday cake. So I made us a Russian icebox cake. What did I do? Made homemade dulce de leche to start, then made a burnt honey solution. It's just burnt honey syrup, I guess I should say.
Okay.
It has a little bit of water in it. Whipped those together with some sour cream and heavy whipping cream.
Whoa.
Layer crust, which I did not bake fine sponge cakes. I put graham crackers, layer, graham crackers, layer, layer, layer. Put it in the fridge.
Whoa.
That will be turned out. We will eat that. It's gonna be delicious.
And
And
then We're gonna play
We're
pickleball
gonna-
with a
No.
stomach full of cake.
Our big return to pickleball because we have not played in quite some time, so I'm excited about that. I did have a little portion of leftover whipped cream, so guess what my coffee was topped with this morning? Dulce
Obviously
de
that.
leche honey whipped cream.
Whoa, that sounds really good. That's the type of stuff you obviously don't need to be going to a cafe. You guys have good little coffee setup though too. Mine is kind of either you have a mocha pot, like the miniature mocha pot, it's a shot of Italian espresso, or full blown pour over large size that I know I could just do something smaller, but usually Sean has made it, and I don't like his shitty coffee most of the time.
Yeah, well, what I do is I make a pour over, and then Brayden and I usually only each have a small cup, so then I have a mason jar that we'll have access to for the next day or two.
That surprises me. Brayden only has a small cup, but I guess it's because he's sucking on
I was gonna
mate for
say, he's
hours.
already started the morning with a gourd of mate, so yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to leave it there today, folks. We hope you have a great June week. We have other really fun, exciting stuff. Maybe a very big announcement next week. It might be time for a very big, life-changing, in my opinion, announcement.
This actually is going to be life-changing. I don't know for the listeners, but maybe this could be the
I don't know.
butterfly.
I'm definitely not claiming it's gonna change
your life. It's
that
gonna
would be
change
great.
our life. Therefore, butterfly effect.
It's gonna change the Q&R Code podcast, and we have plans and the brainstorming, but
down the road. So
sayonara.
No, this is not a goodbye.
Oh, what?
Oh. This episode, Gonzaga podcast now. Big announcement. This is over.
We're through.
Just kidding.
Talk next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.